Good afternoon, class. My name is Jerome David Salinger, but you can call me JD. I, and many other writers, wrote in the postmodern era. Best known for my works such as Catcher in the Rye, and several other novels, I have become one of the best-known authors in American history. To tell you a little bit about myself, I was the second of two children, born in New York City to mixed parents, with my father being raised Jewish, and my mother being Scotch-Irish. I went to public school for a short time, and then began attending private schools. In 1934, my father enrolled me at Valley Forge Military Academy, where I graduated 2 years later. It was the last few years of my education where I developed a distaste for schooling, and although I maintained average grades, and participated in extracurricular activities, I started to do things on my own. I began writing fiction, poetry, and other forms of literature under my sheets after the rest of the school was asleep. 2 years after graduating from Valley Forge, I enrolled at Ursinus College in Pennsylvania. While at Ursinus, I wrote a humorous column to the school's weekly newspaper. It was here that my animosity for school really came out. I left Ursinus after a single semester. In 1942, I joined the military and served until the end of World War II. During this time I still continued to write, and even carried a typewriter with me in my Jeep. When I came back to America, my career as a serious writer started to gain momentum. In 1951, my best-known work, Catcher in the Rye, a work you all have read, was published. It quickly became a favorite among younger audiences due to its rebellious nature. From what I hear, this class hated it. After the publication of this novel, I began to live an elusive existence in an attempt to keep the media and the public out of my life. Many people tried to pry their way into my life, and one man, Ian Hamilton, published a biography about me without my permission. I proceeded by suing him, and people started to back out of my personal life. A little under 10 years later, a former girlfriend of mine sold a number of love letters I had written her for $156,000. Thankfully, the buyer immediately gave them back to me. Since then I have published very little. However, I have allowed a handful of biographies to be published. On January 27, 2010, I died peacefully at age 91 in my New Hampshire home. These days I enjoy dancing and getting funky.